Conscious about not wearing a tie. All I know, Jenny, it's the weekend. I got time now. I can rewatch the Super Bowl. I can sip some of all my new dew that I've been winning from Shannon. Those
Why you watching the game? You already know who won, man.
Really? I'm going to savor it the second time.
Again, savor it. Okay, interesting. A busy weekend ahead for Skip. We actually do have to talk about that game again to start the show because much has been made about the heated exchange between Tom Brady and Mathieu during the Super Bowl. And in a since-deleted tweet, Mathieu wrote, quote, "He called me something I won't repeat," and then Brady reportedly texted him to apologize. But according to Pro Football Talk, NFL Films will not release audio of the encounter, saying, quote, "NFL Films typically does not reveal the audio of such squabbles between players." Shannon, does this make you any more suspicious of what was said?
No, because as they said in the statement, Skip, this is pretty consistent the way they handle these situations. And I know, Skip, because the NFL has given the public so much access, the more access you give, the more access you want. They'll allow you to come into the locker room. They'll allow you to hear some of the huddle calls. We got an opportunity here last year, Patrick Mahomes going to the sideline and asking EB, do we have time for WASP? EB relays that, and he wants the WASP. You want to dial it up? So the Philly special. Right. So
nothing controversial about that, though.
I think the thing is that just the more access you give people, the more access they want. And so I think there are certain things, Skip, you've been around this game, covered this game long enough. You know there's a lot of times things get said on the field in the heat of battle. And as long as they don't cross the line, Skip, I was very fortunate to play in an era. I played against Reggie. And the one thing you knew, Reggie was very devout in his faith. You couldn't curse him. And I tried to make it a habit not to curse around him. I tried to make sure I was not in earshots of...
Because he would say something? Would he reprimand?
Probably, but I just made sure I didn't do it. Another guy was Aeneas Williams. I knew how he was. Darryl Green, I knew how they were, Skip, so I tried to make sure I give them that respect. How you are, I'm going to respect you for that, bro. So I tried to make sure I didn't do anything like that. But everybody else, you going to get an earful. So there might have been some SOBs, some mofos, Skip. And I think that was a lot of it that was going on right there. He probably called Honey Badger a few names that probably, that's why he apologized.
He did.
The only problem that I have is the apology became public. Could have kept that private, and everything would have been okay. So, Skip, I just think the thing is the NFL is that we don't want to just have to bleep this out. We've never done anything, squabbles between players on the field. Let's not start a precedent now. I know there's a hunger to hear, what did Tom say? Why did Honey Badger do that?
Oh, it's a hunger.
Skip. So, and then Honey Badger, wagged his finger in his face, basically said, don't talk to me like that or don't say that. And Tom chases him down and said, I'll say whatever I want to say to you. You know what? So for me, Skip, I'm good. I'm good. The NFL says they're not going to release the film, the audio. They've never done it. I don't think they've ever done it in situations like this when you have two people squabbling. So I'm good with it, Skip, even though I know there's a desire, a craving to hear what was actually said to make Honey Badger react the way he did and then make Tom turn around and chase Honey Badger to get another word in.
Okay. I hear everything you just said, like the perspective you provided. But I'm going to be honest about this. When I first read last night, NFL Films will not release the audio of this conflict, this verbal conflict. Yes, my antenna went up a little higher, my radar. My initial instinct was to be, a little more suspicious of what was said back and forth, especially from Tom Brady to Mathieu. And, of course, I immediately flashed back to Mathieu's tweet that was soon after the game that he posted. And let me get that out in front of me here. The first line is the money line here. He called me something I won't repeat. And then he goes on to say, but yeah, I'll let the media throw me under the bus, as if I did something or said something to him. Ty expressed nothing but respect for Brady, but as he had said in his post-game interview, that's not the Tom Brady I knew.
I've never heard him speak like that.
Never heard him talk like that. Okay, so then I flash back quickly on, well, Brady did apologize, and to your point, he did make it public, and then I started thinking, well, wait a second, was he trying to head something off at the pass? Because he did cross maybe a racial line? It made me suspicious.
Right.
Let me clarify, though, about NFL Films. I've known a lot of people who work for and at NFL Films, and obviously they're not the watchdog arm of the National Football League. They're an entertainment arm, and they're there to promote the game, not to undercut the game or to put it in some glaring spotlight. They are not the language police, because if they were, as you well know, oh, Lord have mercy, what they could release, right?
Because, Skip, you try to, like, when you mic'd up, you try to be conscious of not to speak in every day, because everybody basically like, beep, 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 beep. You can't get anything accomplished. So you do try to clean it up somewhat.
You do. Then, very early this morning, I stumbled upon some quotes uttered by our man Michael Irvin on the Rich Eisen show yesterday.
Okay.
And if I could read some of these quotes here to you now. This is Michael Irvin. I didn't like that Tyrann Mathieu put that out there like that. Let me get my other sheet here. Put that out like that, the way he put it out. It makes people want to know, what did he say? We're curious. As if he said the N-word, and he did not. Tom did not, meaning say the N-word. So, you know, I didn't even like that even looming over this situation. Okay?
And that was the thing I said, Skip, on Monday. I said, you know, the way he reacted, I said, I'm not going to even put that out there.
All right. So Michael does have, he is privy to the audio. Because he works at NFL Network, and he's also on Showtime's Inside the NFL.
Correct.
So he is telling you that he actually heard the audio. And he goes on to say that it was just two guys competing. That's all it was, just two guys competing, heat of battle, as you just said. He also raised the point of, from an African-American side, as he said, he doesn't like it because it's like crying wolf, you know, the old cliche about you cry wolf and there's no wolf, right? Well, if you keep crying wolf and there's no wolf, then you dilute when there's a wolf.
And then nobody comes to help you.
And when the word is uttered, and we need to throw it right out in the middle of the table because it is verified that it was uttered, then you don't want to water down that moment.
That is correct.
With this.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm left with what happened. As I always tell you, there's this alter ego on Brady. I know you don't buy completely into it, but this psycho Tom side of him, he works himself into an emotional frenzy, especially for Super Bowl games. It's a focused frenzy that's always kind of on the edge of going out of control, but never completely over the edge. And yet, if you get in the crossfire of it, if you antagonize him, he will fire back. He'll trash talk with anybody, and it's a quick exchange, it's a burst, and it's very emotional, and it's very uncharacteristic of the Brady most people know off the field. That sort of nerdy, goofy, corny, golly gee, aw shucks, Tom Brady. It's in there. And somehow that button got pushed by Ty, with Ty. And the irony of this is, I still believe off the field, Tom Brady's basically a nice guy because that's all I've ever heard. And I definitely think off the field, Ty Mathieu is he's a good man with a big, good heart. So what transpired? What was the flashpoint? I don't know. Was it a personal insult? If again, I'm going to take Michael Irvin to the bank on this, no N-word. Nothing racial. No slur. So what was it that offended Ty so deeply? It's just some personal insult of you're a effing what? You know,
I think the thing, Skip, probably what caught Tyrann off guard so much, it was not maybe what was said, is that who said it. I mean, there's an expectation that you look at Tom. Oh man, Tom Brady, look at how mild-mannered he is. The family man. He always dressed to the nine. He really never says anything out of order. He talking like that, and so I think, Skip, and sometimes you're like, you could say something to someone, and the dude be like, "Hey, bro, don't talk to me like that." Okay, let that go. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what it was, Skip. And just because the NFL, and it's just human nature. It's just like anything, Skip. If, like now with the police video, If they don't release it, we automatically assume that something's on his bad. So because why won't you release it? Why won't you just let us see
True.
what's on the tape?
I agree.
And therefore, you know, we could put our minds at ease. I guess everybody said, well, if there's nothing on there, he didn't say anything racial, just release it. We've heard SOB, we've heard MOFO and GDR, we've heard all that before. So what's different now?
Okay.
And so I think that's where it's coming from, Skip. Like I said, the public consumption, the more you give them, the more they want.